My name is Joshua Carlisle. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I was born with multiple heart problems, no spleen. They told my parents that I wasn't going to live past a few days. He's going to die. They took me to Children's. Children's looked me over. They said, well, I don't know why he's still up and going and still alive, but, he is. When I was about 5 years old, I got very, very sick. I had spinal meningitis. The virus was so bad that black spots started coming through my skin. It was trying to seep out of my skin. It was eating my body up so bad. And they told my dad and mom, they're like, look, he's seriously not going to make it. He has no immune system. He's a heart patient. He's weak. He's not going to make it. Maybe 3 days. And so they put me in ICU here. My dad, being an awesome man of God, prayed nonstop, and he felt God was moving there. He went to check on me, and as he rounded the corner into the more intensive ICU, he looked down the hallway, and I wasn't there at all. He said there were no sick children over on the intensive care side anymore. All the kids who were in the really intensive side of the ICU got better. They all moved to the less intensive side of the ICU, and that's probably the second miracle in my life that's ever happened, and it was right here at Children's. They've told me for years, you need a heart transplant. Josh, you need a transplant. And I've heard that all my life. For the most part, I didn't really want one at first because, I wasn't sure about having somebody else's organ inside my body. I told them, no, I can't do it. They said, look, it's going to get worse. Your heart's enlarged and you have leaky valves. You have all kinds of stuff wrong. And I said, well, now's not the time. At that point, it started really weighing heavy on my mind. Somebody else has got to die so I can live. I started thinking about it more. I started contemplating it more. Started praying about it more. I just felt God saying, okay, it's time now. Go ahead. I was admitted to the hospital January 13th, 2004. I never left. It was a very long wait. I waited for my transplant in the hospital about 7 months because July 1st, 2004, I got my heart. Got a phone call and I was just like, hello? Hey Josh, guess what? I was like, what? It was like 11 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock at night. I said, we found you a heart. It was pretty exciting. I was very excited. Kind of leery about it, but for the most part I was pretty calm, very peaceful about it. My surgery lasted 12 hours. It's just a total blank. 2 weeks after my surgery, total blank. Probably a good thing. I was in some mad pain, like insane pain afterwards. Wow, I cannot describe to you how bad something like that hurts. A really cool thing happened to me that Christmas. A friend of mine called me up and he goes, well, pick up a paper. I think I know where your transplant came from. So I picked up a paper. It was right at Christmas. It was probably one of the most awesome Christmas presents I've ever had. I read about this guy, 15 years old. He'd come home one day and he was a very athletic guy. And I told his mom he had a headache. And he said, I'm going to go lay down for a while. Later on that night, she went in there to check on her son. She's like, hey, are you okay? And he didn't respond back because, he was laying face down in his bed. So she went out, she flipped the lights on. She's like, hey, are you all right? And she turned him over. And his pillow was full of blood. So they moved him to Children's. They donated his organs, and he saved 7 people's lives. And one of those lives were mine. And I got his heart. I got his heart, and it was amazing. And even more cool than that, we have the same initials. Certain things come together in coincidences, but when you see a plan and you know there was a reason behind that. He was here at this hospital. They didn't have to go anywhere else to get that heart. They didn't have to fly out of state. They didn't have to go across the street. They didn't even have to leave this hospital to get that heart. It was here. And I give all credit to Jesus for that because it's just amazing how God organizes things. I could never in my entire life thank that young man's family enough. How much gratitude I have for them, for their son. There's nothing I could ever do to show my gratitude towards that family. And I thank God every day I wake up. His life is so short and it's so precious. That's one major reason why I'm volunteering here now. Time is worth more than anything. And if I can donate my time to somebody, donate myself to somebody, I think that's more of an impact than anything I could ever do. Share your love with somebody else. And if I can do that, if I can pour my life into somebody else, if I can help another transplant patient or help their parents, it's the greatest decision I've ever made. Aside from knowing God, it's the greatest decision I've ever made. Here I am, a 23-year-old in Arkansas Children's Hospital. I get asked many times, well, why did you go to Children's? Like, I was brought up there. I basically live here. This is my second home here. And I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. Anytime I go anywhere and I have to talk about Children's Hospital, I always tell everybody, Arkansas Children's Hospital is the best hospital in the known universe in the history of forever. And they're like, what? I'm just like, no, I'm serious. They're awesome. I'm just telling you personal experience, Yes, miracles exist. I say that this transplant's a miracle. I mean, God is awesome. He's the reason I'm here. I am a miracle. How can I deny miracles when I am one?